there's headlines going around. People are speculating on Joe Burrow. Has he came out and talked about the contract situation? Is that why people are speculating on it?
I'm not sure. I know Gronk said something.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Gronk said it on what? On what show?
Uh,
No, what show, JP?
Gronk said it on somebody that actually recently has been interacting with me on Twitter. Her name's Kay Adams.
Yeah.
The Up and Adams show.
Okay.
Shout out Up and Adams.
We'll have to have Kay on someday too. Was she in our Tuesday 8 p.m. live?
She was not.
Oh, I thought you were saying last night she was. Like, you're like, how do we get Kay in here?
Oh yeah, no, that's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
How do I get Kay in here?
My screen always freezes where it's like it doesn't say, I don't see the comments or who's in it.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought she must have commented something. You were trying to get her in.
No, but she replied to us on Twitter after.
What'd she say?
And then somebody did translate that in Google Translate.
Yeah.
And it said, the translation was, I'm into you. That's what the translation said.
Yeah.
You got to put these references on the screen right now too for people to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta get her on next Tuesday. Next Tuesday we have to get her on push-ups with JP.
Yeah, she said to host, mediate.
She was down to do whatever. Host,
Water girl.
mediate, water girl.
That's so funny, dude.
JP shot that shot. You gotta
He's been shooting that shot, dude.
You gotta respect.
You gotta be exhausted. All them shots being shot.
When you're chasing after something you're passionate about, you don't get tired.
You don't need an alarm clock.
But I guess you got something, Jack?
I was just gonna ask y'all a question, just what we're talking about. Do you, if you're Joe Burrow, do you take this pay cut and be team centered and try and be a contender every year, or do you look out for number one and try and push Lamar and Jalen Hurts contract?
Question: when is Joe's deal up to make it seem like they're speculating? Next year.
Next year.
After next year?
Is he in his 5th year right now?
No, he's in his 3rd, 4th. He's going into his 4th.
So they probably decided to pick up his 5th year option, I would assume. And people are, yeah.
If they didn't.
Right, like not pick up his 5th year option.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're. I mean, you can give us some context on this. Like guys who get their 5th year option picked up. You were one, right?
Yeah, I got my 5th year option picked up.
But when you pick up the 5th year option, basically teams are, if you're somebody they want to keep you around long term, like yourself, like Joe Burrow, is basically they're wanting to pick up your 5th year option to start the negotiation process. Like, hey, we're going to pick this up, but we would like to start these conversations sooner rather than later.
5th year option is essentially just it has to get picked up in the offseason between your 3rd and 4th year by like May 7th, we'll say. And so when it's picked up, it's like, hey, we got you on contract for another year. Hopefully we can get something done before that. But knowing it's like keeping you away from free agency, because the closer you get to free agency, that's obviously where the bigger dollars are at.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think 5th year option is going to matter much for Joe, because he's going to get that deal done. He's not going to put himself in a Kirk Cousins situation where it's like, do we pay him? Do we franchise tag him? He's like top 3 quarterback in the league.
So seems like he wants to stay in Ohio.
Yeah, I mean, if you were him, you'd want to too. He's got a fucking team around him. He's got a wide receiving core. His offensive line's gotten better in the offseason. Like, there's no reason why he wouldn't want to stay there. I think there's so many ways to get paid and also, like, be team friendly. Like, look at Mahomes' deal. That 10-year, $500 million. Like, that was a team friendly deal.
Right.
And it was front loaded every single year, and he'd be paying for like only a couple million during the season. Like, they could easily do that for him. But very few guys in the NFL are able to be cake eaters. Joe is one of those guys that'll be able to do both.
Mm-hmm.
Team friendly, so the team can go out and get players and then go win a Super Bowl and also get as much money as everybody else in the market. So I don't think that's going to be a problem at all. I think him saying a team friendly deal is just, if he said that, it's probably just him trying to look good for everything else. Like, he's going to get paid. He's going to get paid so much money. And it's going to be, and the team knows he's going to be there for long term for the next 10 years. So there's really no reason why it wouldn't be a team friendly deal.
So Jack's pulling this stuff up. Essentially, they're talking about, it seems like a foregone conclusion that he will sign a long-term extension with the Bengals before Cincinnati kicks off the regular season against the Browns on September 10th. And he's talking about, Joe has said, I think there are a lot of different ways it can work out. We'll see how it all plays out. Right now, according to Spot Track, what is it? Spotrac? Okay. No disrespect to the boys at Spotrac. No free shout-outs, though, also. It looks like the projected market is a 6-year deal that would pay him an average of $54 million per season. If you're in Joe's position, would you, essentially take like, what are we trying to say here? $45 million a year, so that way you can go out and get more players versus like a $54 million a year.
Higgins and Jamar, you can keep both of them as opposed to keeping one of them if he goes down to like 40 to 42 million. because they're both gonna have contract deals come up in the next 2 years, both of them.
Yeah. Man, yeah. What would you guys do? I think me personally, like if I happen to be Joe Burrow, and you were alluding to it earlier as well, like there's ways to do this. Like he's going to be a cake eater in Ohio. Like if you're Joe Burrow, like be with Cincinnati the entirety of your career. Maybe sign a deal like Patrick Mahomes. Like
Yeah.
take less money because you're going to make like $40 million a year. I know you can make 54. Like it's always like get as much as you can, get every dollar you can because the NFL is like your career could end tomorrow type of thing. Like it's always like the small man versus the big man. But when you're in a position like Joe Burrow, it's like money is never going to be an issue forever. And you're going to have you have the keys to the city. Like if you're somebody who values like the championships and everything else, I'm not saying players don't do that, but like money's never going to be an issue ever. Like fuck you, money's never going to be an issue. And being in the state of Ohio, it's like take whatever. Like, hey, how can we get a championship team surrounding me? Like, I'll do whatever I need to do. Like, what would you guys do?
I think Joe Cool seems like that kind of guy. Being from Ohio, going to Ohio State, and then having to leave, and then getting drafted to the Bengals. He seems like the guy that's gonna, take the state like of Ohio and wear it with pride.
Yeah.
And just kind of ride it till the wheels fall off.
Yeah.
He's not a me guy.
I guess the question is, how do you
He
want
can
to
do both.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. He can
Yeah,
do
he
both.
won't
can
have
get
to
that
worry about it.
Year. He can get it if he wanted it and still be team friendly.
Yeah.
How's that? How so?
Pat Mahomes signed
Over
a
like
$500 million deal. Yeah, over 6-year deal. You just make it a longer deal. You can keep that number in there, and then bigger signing bonus, and then every year, do a restructure where you restructure $30 million of those dollars into a signing bonus, and then he plays for 20 or 24, and now you've got all the money in the world to go pay those other guys.
So like in that sense of like the way Brady was doing in New England, like every
Yeah.
year you're working with the team, like basically in the office, okay, how can we restructure my
Right.
deal to help you guys
And you're
out?
making more money every year,
Yeah.
but you're also like doing it in a way because the team, like Joe Burrow for the Cincinnati Bengals, has made the value of that team 10 times skyrocket. So
He's him.
he is him. He really is him. And you got Jamar Chase and those guys coming up. What he needs to do is have those conversations with Jamar Chase and them, being like, listen, if I take a team-friendly deal, like I'm expecting you guys to also take that deal because Jamar Chase is going to be the number one paid receiver when he's up too.
Yeah, I think
When he
where
stays healthy.
I think where it's slightly different is knowing that Joe B's the quarterback. Like the franchise truly will stare at you like, hey, you are exactly who we want to build around.
Yeah.
It's like if Joe were to do that and knowing that you're coming up like, hey, I'm taking a team friendly, I'm going to need you to. Like, I think the longevity and the way an offensive lineman and basically every other position has to look at their careers a little bit differently than if you're a quarterback sitting in the fucking
I agree.
throne. You know what I mean?
I agree with that 100%.
It's like, hey, like Joe, I feel you. I appreciate you taking the team friendly, but you almost want to take a team friendly just so Cincinnati can do whatever it takes to retain those guys.
Right.
Because they are big time assets. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like if I'm the quarterback and I take, I'm like, hey, I took one. Like, I'm going to need you to kind of shave the top a little bit for you. You're like, I mean, fuck, man. You're like,
You're
I
Joe
get it.
Burrow.
You're like, yeah, you're Joe Burrow.
Your
man.
endorsements are going to be more than I'm making. He's going to make $10 million a year in endorsements.
But if Joe is taking a team friendly, why would Jamar have to take some off the top?
I guess you're just thinking about keeping everybody
Yeah,
or
keeping
paying
everybody and acquiring new assets.
Yeah.
To win a
yeah,
Super Bowl. Because you want,
Yeah.
they got a team now, but they haven't gone over the hump of the AFC Championship.
I know. That AFC is crazy. I mean,
Crazy.
it's fucking NFL is crazy, but it seems like the AFC is just deep and has all of the
Bro.
quarterbacks.
Mahomes, Burrow, Allen. It's just crazy.
Who's old boy with the Chargers?
Herbert.
Your boy Justin Lawrence,
JL, bro.
Trevor Lawrence.
JL.
Trevor Lawrence.
I'm not. Jury's still out on him.
Will Levis.